Hey guys, this week's podcast features Sweet Hearth owner Kelly Brewer. Kelly came down, talked about the start of the truck, how she got into baking, and her plans for the future. Let's get to it.
To start this off by saying congratulations on your second place finish at the Canal Food Fight.
Oh, thanks.
That was 2 weeks ago, maybe 1 week ago.
2 weeks, maybe 3.
Yeah, that was really fun. That was a pretty cool event.
Yeah, it was. I had a great time.
Yeah.
Yep.
When before or after, I think when Matt announced that you'd won, he told me that he had to like kind of convince you to like enter the contest. Like you weren't sure if you were going to do it. Like was your menu item a relatively last minute concoction? Or?
Kind of. It was. I was just my reluctance was with just everything that I do has to be made pretty much before I get there, except for like Sundays and floats. So that's kind of why I went with that idea. And I knew that I would probably be alone, so trying to vend and create something at the same time may have been kind of hard. So that's also why I tried to keep it kind of simple. Yeah,
it was awesome. I mean, me and Krista, who does like Nichols A. Chef and everything, it was like one of our favorite things that we had. That's that whole day. It was fantastic.
It's awesome.
Yeah. It was so simple too. It was just like a little, old timey float and like, if you could put that in the truck at any time, that'd be awesome.
Will do. I wanted to use fresh local berries, but they're not in season yet. So I'll do that. Hopefully we'll have a decent berry season this year.
Fingers crossed on that one. Yeah. I don't know too much about, like your background before the truck started. Have you been in the food world kind of for a while, or has this been more something you've always been interested in, or?
Really more something that I've always been interested in doing just because, I don't know, I guess my background with regard to baking is going to sound kind of cliche. It started when I was just a little girl with the Easy Bake Oven. Oh, yeah. That whole deal.
Yeah. No, that's where a bunch of people start. Yeah.
And I've heard that story over and over again, so I'm sure you probably, and a lot of other people get tired of hearing it, but that's kind of how it started. And then I grew up, all my grandmothers baked.
Okay, so you're around it a lot.
Right, all the time. Both my parents worked, so one of my grandmothers would usually watch me, and that's what we did was, I got up on the chair in the kitchen and just always liked doing it. And
yeah. Was there something about baking as against like actual cooking, or because they're kind of two different like mindsets almost? Right. Like baking's you got the instructions, basically you have your set ways, and in cooking I always thought was like more chaotic. I don't know.
Right. Well, I like to do both actually, but I think it's the wicked sweet tooth that sent it more to the baking side.
That would do it. that you always came back to.
Right.
And so it was just something that you would do a lot, for the kids and whatnot.
Right. Do a lot just for family members. People were always asking for stuff. And
you were the go-to. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when did you start to think about starting... even just because I saw that you considered opening a bakery, is that correct? And that just was a little too cost prohibitive, or?
Yeah, I looked into a lot of different things because I've moved away from Buffalo a long time ago, like in '89, and just to go finish school, and had always intended on moving back like shortly after finishing, and it ended up being a lot longer. So I just moved back 3 years ago.
Oh wow! Welcome back.
Thanks. Thought about the original ideas were opening up like a Great Harvest Bakery.
Okay,
which is a franchise out of Montana.
Yeah.
There's one in Hamburg.
Yes, I was going to say I remembered seeing one.
Yeah. So, and that was just really super expensive, and then they had tight reins around what you could do about operations and all that stuff. Yeah,
franchises are hit or miss. Like I've heard that some are really cool, but then like I was reading like some like if you are actually really successful, they can just take it back and like run it themselves. Like it's like really
nice.
but it's like really crazy. Yeah, but so, I could see that. Yeah.
And the gal that I was working with and talking with all of a sudden just quit, so that kind of left I was a little skeptical about the whole thing after that happened, and then there was a cupcake franchise that I was considering too, which I can't remember where they're based out of, but they're called Gigi's.
Okay.
And they had a location in San Antonio where I had moved from.
Oh, okay.
So I considered that, but they just kept saying, well, we're not ready for New York State yet, but we'll keep you in mind, so it's a good thing I didn't wait around because they're still not open here.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
Is that mostly like a southern chain type of thing? Or?
I can't remember where they started, maybe Tennessee or something,
okay.
But they're all over now, and for whatever reason, they're not in New York State. So
that's a bummer.
So much for the
friendly
New York State business.
Yeah.
Whatever the commercial that seems to be on all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean, right?
Yes, I've seen that commercial. Yeah. So, but always in your head though is always baking and always like. I mean, was there a part of you that? I mean, when you're baking at home, like you don't have very, I guess, big quantities or like a rush or anything like that. Was there a part of you that felt confident in the day-to-day thing, or were you just kind of going for it like, I can figure it out? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I didn't even really consider that part of it. But, then once the franchise thing just wasn't going to work out for me, then I started researching just a regular bakery and, it was just really cost prohibitive, signing a lease and then buying all of the equipment and all that stuff. And then I just thought a food truck bakery,
Nice. So this was
that
probably
might work.
Yeah. So this was kind of right around when like Lloyd just hit the streets, right? Or
yeah, well, because I spent about a year just researching, figuring out what I was going to do, and then working out recipes, stuff like that. And I think I remember seeing stories about Lloyd in like a food war. I didn't see a whole lot of it, but because I know that they've been around for it'll be 3 years.
Yeah, they started in 2010. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So that kind of planted the seed a little bit.
I thought about that. I started seeing more about them, and then there were a lot of food trucks in Texas too.
Oh, okay.
That's where I'd moved from. There was in Austin.
Oh my God, Austin is like food truck mecca, basically.
So, and I saw Hello Cupcake is there, and that's where I kind of got the idea. Well, maybe that would work out for me.
Nice.
So I won't necessarily just have cupcakes; it'll be all baked goods, and then
So
that's kind of how that all developed.
When I saw like your truck was like announced and everything, and I saw the hype coming up to it, I was like, and I had never even thought that like to put desserts on like a food truck. Like I don't know why, but I just assumed they'd be cooking things on the go. Like, do you find yourself like, is there with the actual food truck? Are you like actually cooking on the truck, or is it more of like everything's prepared and you kind of serve it through that? Or
it's both.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen the inside, maybe briefly.
Not of yours. I've seen like Lloyd and I think Roman Buffalo briefly, but I don't have too much on truck knowledge.
Right. It has a full commercial size oven.
Oh, wow.
So in the back. And then I kind of designed it hoping that I would be able to do everything on the inside.
Yeah.
So, it has a full-size commercial fridge, full-size freezer.
Okay.
Not enough storage, but...
But you find those things out after the fact.
Oh, yeah. If I could redesign it now, it would be totally different.
Yeah. So what was the process of getting the truck? How did you even start with that?
Well, I had met with, I visited all the other truck owners and heard the nightmare stories from Chris and Pete about how they bought theirs and trying to get it here. And
it broke within the first 2 months.
I know. I felt so bad. And then talked to Chris from the Roaming Buffalo, and he mentioned, who he worked with. And so, and then at the same time, Alexis was also working on getting the cheesy chip. So her and I kind of went through that whole thing together. I got a hold of the people that built Chris's truck and ended up working with them. So
nice. It looks gorgeous. I love the actual design of the truck. It looks really cute.
Yeah, it turned out really good. I like it.
Yeah. So how long from like that idea to actually getting on the streets, like roughly, was that like not too long? Or
I think I actually ordered the truck in November of 2011.
Okay.
And I was hoping to be on the road by Valentine's Day of 2013.
That would be a big day, I would assume, for Sweets.
So that was the plan. But the Miami Trailer, the company, they were moving at the same time. So that kind of messed things up big time. And I didn't. And then there was just a big issue with getting it here. It was a nightmare.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was...
Did you actually like have it driven up here? Or?
I had wanted to have it flatbedded just because I didn't want to have all the miles put on it.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And whatever. And went through, so I can't think of the website, YouShip or uship.com or something like that, and ended up getting a guy that bid it to flatbed really cheap, like a lot less expensive. That should have been a huge red flag. Because there's no way he could have done it with the gas.
Yeah.
So, and just got the run around from him, and ended up having to somehow just kind of fight to get my money back, because you have to prepay for that. It's like an eBay thing.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So, and then, finally just had to have someone drive it.
Wow.
So and I lost like almost a whole month just from there.
Jeez, that sucks.
Was finally on the road April 18th,
April
2012.
Nice. Yeah, that's... I never even think of it like that. Like, we had the black market guys, and they talked about driving their truck from, like, even Albany, and they said it was just a nightmare.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they also have, like, a truck from, like, 1960.
Yeah, theirs is really cool. It's neat.
Yeah, yours is pretty much newer.
It's it's 95, so it's 30 years newer.
Yeah. How was like getting used to the truck, like being on the truck and working?
It was terrifying. Well, you saw what I drove here, right?
Yeah, the little...
So, the little Mini, going from that to this huge semi.
Yeah, I don't even think about that either. I never even thought about the actual driving the truck part.
No, that was terrifying. I had to force myself to get in it.
Did you do a couple practice runs?
Yeah, I went around the block. And I live in Clarence, so there's not, there was no shoulder on this road. I picked the wrong route to go for the first,
for the first outing?
For the first drive. I was terrified it was going to, either go off the road or hit the oncoming car. And then it's like a boat, too.
Oh, yeah.
The steering, it's not real reactive.
Oh, man.
So that was scary. I think I've finally just gotten to the point where I feel comfortable driving it.
You can parallel park it and everything now.
Yeah, I'm really pretty good
at
doing that. So, I mean, there's been a few little fender benders, but there were a few dings on it anyway. So,
there you go. Yeah.
Backed into my own garage.
It adds character to it. It adds character to the truck.
Smashed the backup camera. So much for that. That happened in like the first month.
Oh man, I never actually think about that. People have to drive them. I think I saw like the whole hog the other day just driving around the streets. I don't even think they were going somewhere. I just think he was using it to drive somewhere.
Really?
I was like, oh, I never even thought that that's an actual car. Like, I just assume it's like, oh, that's just a place where they serve food.
The scariest part is actually when it's really windy.
Oh my god!
So they just
rock
all over the road. Yeah.
Oh jeez.
So, and then the narrow tunnels or the bridges.
Yeah.
I think the first time I drove it down Transit through Depew, the really old.
Oh yeah.
I just drove under and closed my eyes.
Just hoped you were under whatever sign that was.
I can't remember how tall it is. I hope it makes it.
That's all right. You don't need antennas or anything.
Yeah, sure.
What about like actually working the kitchen, like getting back there for the first time for like a service? Like, was that kind of just learn on the go, or did you try to do a dry run? Or
it took some doing though too, because the oven is it's powered by propane.
Yeah.
And it's also convection too. So, and the fan is way different. It's intense. So the low is, So that took some playing with, because things turned out completely differently the first couple times.
Oh, like temperature and everything.
Temperature with the fan and all that stuff. So I was kind of scared the first few batches of things.
Just like hoping. Were those ones for like the family or something? Where
exactly.
You try this first.
Right? No, most of them were in the garbage can. They were really bad. So,
jeez.
But yeah, it just took some getting used to.
Yeah. Where did like the first recipes come from? Like, do you just yourself have like kind of your own passed down family recipes, or how does that work?
A lot of them are that, because like I mentioned, all my grandmothers, were big bakers, so a lot of them were passed down that way. A lot of them were my mom's. Some of them are my own.
Oh, nice.
And then just from all over the place.
Yeah.
I have a huge library of cookbooks.
I was gonna say, like, I didn't know if you had like a black book style thing.
I do. It's not little though. It's a big, huge black book.
Nice.
There's a lot of.
Is there still stuff in there that hasn't seen the truck yet?
No, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I'd like to do.
Yeah.
So, but it's just kind of trying to figure out what everybody likes and.
Mm-hmm. How I read that also you try to do everything from scratch and things like that.
Yes, definitely.
That's awesome. I think you can really taste it because like everything I've had, and I'm not even saying this just because you're here, but everything I've had on the truck has been like really, really good.
Oh, well, thanks.
And I knew like there was like a period where like food trucks were opening, and I wasn't sure how passionate the people were about food per se, and like when we went to your truck, I was like, oh, desserts, like this could be really cool, and I was so excited to see like that it was somebody who actually like cared about making like really good desserts. I don't know. I just wanted to say like it was your stuff is awesome. So
well, thank you.
You can taste the from scratchness from scratch. I don't know if that's a thing, but
well, thank you. That's awesome.
So when you opened, did you try to play it safe with like options that you knew that you could cook well, at least for the first like week or so? Or
I'm trying to remember what I first started out with. Gosh, I can't even remember. It seems like it's been longer than just a year.
Yeah.
I can't remember what. I mean, I always try to have some kind of pie, some kind of cupcake.
Yeah, I remember the first time I had it. There was the peanut butter chocolate pie.
Right, I've always had that. That's a big favorite, so that's always on the truck.
Yeah. It's one of those things that you've realized over the years, like, okay, anytime I have this thing will sell out. Basically,
yeah. There's a few. There's two. Probably three. My hummingbird cake that everybody likes. Banana pudding has gotten to be huge. So,
has there been any like surprise things where you put it on the menu and you're like, let's see if they like this? Has there been any like surprises to yourself or
the chocolate bread pudding that I made this fall? I don't know if you had a chance to try that. I was kind of surprised that was just one guy came up to me. I think one of the first times I had it was at the Illuminate.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, when all the trucks were in front of the museum.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I had that, and someone came up to me after he'd eaten, and he said, "Oh, my God, that was the best thing." And it was...
He's very enthusiastic.
He was very enthusiastic. It was funny, but I appreciate people, that... give feedback like that. You don't hear it all that often.
Yeah, that's got to be just a great feeling.
Oh yeah, I know, it was awesome.
That was a pretty crazy event too.
Yeah, that was. I never even got to see any of the show. I mean, thankfully we were all that busy. It was raining too, so
yeah. I went maybe the first night, and it was kind of drizzling, and
right.
I was shocked that. I was like, I had a weird feeling like, oh, I hope there's not one truck who doesn't have a line, and they're just like looking at everybody else. But it looked like every truck had at least like 10 people the whole night.
Yeah,
like,
we were all really super busy. So
yeah. Now is it just you on your truck, or do you have somebody who helps you out too? Or
most of the time it's just me. Every now and again I have a friend, or two, that I can somehow persuade to help me out. But I think it's finally getting to the point where now I'm going to need someone to help me this summer with, there's a lot of stuff lined up. So
yeah, a lot of events are coming up.
Yeah, tons of stuff. All the food rodeos that we have going on. Larkin's now doing a Tuesday night dinner.
Oh, nice. I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's starting next Tuesday, I think.
Nice.
And then all the stuff that's going on at Canal Side. So
yeah, it's going to be good stuff.
So I need someone.
Yeah, because I feel like I know like... I mean, like, I know it's just you on the truck, and then I know that Black Market and Frank, it's just the two guys on each of those trucks.
Right.
And I'm, like, thinking about, all you guys this summer, I'm like, oh, it's going to get a little crazy on those things.
Yeah.
So does your menu, does it change with the seasons, basically? Because I noticed that you don't really have, like, that you like to change it up, that you like to put new things on the menu pretty often. Is there like a way to like try to pair it with how it's outside, or what's your method of what goes on the menu?
It's seasonal, just based on pies. For fall, obviously pumpkin. It's based on produce. I try to buy local stuff whenever I can. Unfortunately, winter in Buffalo, there's not a whole lot.
I don't know how much you're doing with kale or
right. You probably sneak it in there.
Just don't put it on the thing.
Right. So no, it's changed according to the weather. You know, I don't sell any ice cream in the winter, obviously.
Yeah, I can't see that being a hot item.
So it's different.
Yeah.
Strawberry shortcake in the summer, key lime pie, stuff like that. Bread pudding in the winter and fall, pumpkin pie. Pumpkin cupcakes were huge in the fall,
really?
Too. So
that sounds good.
So, yeah, it changes.
Yeah. Do you feel pretty confident going into, like, your second year, basically? Like, knowing kind of what's coming ahead? Or I mean, like, as far as, like, what you're going to put on the menu? Or is it, do you still have, like, new things that you want to keep doing?
I have a lot of new things that I'd like to try. I was really actually trying to find a soft serve machine just to make my own old-fashioned custard.
That would be awesome
to do, but those things take so much energy that I'd probably have to shut everything else off on the truck in order to run it. So
you'd have to have like
about that.
You'd have to have a separate generator basically just for that.
Yeah, and that obviously won't fly now. I don't think I would be approved by the fire department.
That might be a red flag.
Right. Full of little trailer behind it.
A food truck with its own food truck.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty great.
Funny.
That'd be pretty great, actually.
Full of my own little ice cream food truck.
All right.
So I don't know. There's got to be a way I can work that out, but it's not going to be anytime soon. So that was kind of a bummer because I thought that would be great and a great pairing, with stuff I already have and good for summer.
Yeah. The thing about your truck, it's kind of unique, is that you pair really well with other trucks. Like if there's like a lunch service, like it actually makes sense to have you with another truck because most of them aren't doing a dessert, or if they are, it's a item.
Right.
And so like you're like a really nice compliment where people can go like, was that ever in a plan or was that kind of just something that like came to realization after like talking to other trucks?
Well, when I first started going to the food truck meetings, Pete, I think it was, pardon me, that suggested, hey, you can come, partner with us or vend with us anytime. You'd be a good compliment to us. And so, that's actually how that helped get me started. So and I think it works well with any of the others. It's just...
yeah, it does. I mean, it's a genius idea, like to have like, because you get your salty and then you have all your sweet right there.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's so. What would you say is your primary location? Like you're mostly like a lunch truck now, or
I guess so. It's I haven't tried any later services.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see next week. With the Larkin.
Yeah.
The dinners at Larkin, and then
I was excited because I mean, as somebody who works out in Gettsville, I don't have too many food trucks near me.
Oh, that's where you work?
Yeah,
okay.
Way out in Gettsville. And so I don't get to go to like the lunch services too often, but when you just said that you're going to be at Larkin for dinner, like that's
right.
I'm game for that. So I mean, is that something you've thought about? Because I mean, obviously like trucks do a lot of late night things. I don't know if desserts maybe pair well with the bar crowds.
I don't think so. I think that I kind of learned that at Dingus Day.
Oh, really?
Drunken festivals and
why? What happened
trucks.
at Dingus?
It was just a nightmare. And
I've never been.
No offense to the people that put it on.
No, I've never been there, but I've only seen pictures. And like it just looks like a crazy hot mess.
Was, and I think part of it, the weather was crappy, so that didn't help. And they were expecting a much larger turnout. And then just where I was in relation to the other trucks, it was really hard for people to get to me, almost impossible actually. So
was there like a
we
moat?
saw lots of fun stuff. I'm telling you, I wish I had a camera. The people that were trying to hide drinks and. Just the outfits and the stuff that was going on right out in front of me. It was funny, but I think I learned then that
drunk people don't want a cookie.
Drunken festivals, people want fried and salty, and they don't necessarily.
I can attest that when I am in that state, that's probably the first thing I'm going for too. Yeah.
So,
well, at least you learned.
That's right. Oh, and maybe when they're hungover, that's when
there
you
go
to them.
Yes. I think that's probably the first time I had your food. I was kind of hungover, and you were parked in front of one of the Lloyd houses.
Okay,
Frank
it was
Lloyd.
Parkside Tour of Homes. I
yes,
think.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the first time I tried your truck, and I think I had a little bit of a hangover, and you had like a lemonade, maybe. Like
strawberry lemonade.
Strawberry lemonade, yeah, and that and the chocolate peanut butter pie saved me that morning.
Awesome. I think you tried a cinnamon bun too.
Yes, I did. Yes. Yeah. That was so good. I've been slacking though. Like the problem with our site is. We very rarely get to like revisit things, so we're always trying to try something new that we haven't had. And so, like, you know, all the food trucks, I'll see like the Frank and Paul, and they'll be like, "Why haven't you come back?" And I'm like, "I have to eat other places. I'm sorry."
Right. There's a lot of choices.
Yeah. Is there I was trying to think of what I was going to say. So without like because when I was saying like if you're gonna go out for like late night eats and things like that, a lot of the new permit stuff that's been coming up really it seems like it mostly affects that late night or like the downtown area. I mean, how do you feel like the new downtown and I think Amherst was just announced yesterday?
Right. Yesterday or the day before.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to affect you per se, like too much or not really?
I really don't. I really can't see, trying to vend after 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
anywhere really. So.
Yeah. No, it should be.
I think I'm okay with that. I'm glad Amherst is finally over, though. What a nightmare that was.
Yeah, that seems pretty rough.
Yeah.
I mean, has pretty much the whole food truck gang kind of been together with all this stuff?
For the most part. I mean, we've all just, now that the weather's finally gotten nice, we're all just kind of super busy right now. So, and then I was on vacation, too. So yeah. I wasn't there for the meeting Monday night.
Yeah.
And I know the group was meeting the prior week, too, and that's when I was gone. So.
Oh, really?
But before that, yeah, I mean, it's been going on since October of last year, I think, September.
Yeah, it's
so
been...
we've all been meeting, almost once a week, it seems.
It's just a pain.
Yeah, so I'm glad that's over.
Yeah,
and I hope every other town doesn't follow suit because.
Yeah, it's gonna be really annoying.
Yeah, it is. It's time consuming too. You know, with it being just me trying to make all those meetings and
and then
stuff,
also run the business.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I'd assume that probably like catering too is another side part of the company as well,
right?
Or your truck. So yeah, you're not just only out there when it's
right
when you're serving. I'm assuming
exactly.
Yeah. It's annoying. I guess we could kind of wrap it up. I mean, so what? Let's say for people who are coming out this summer who might be trying your truck, like, what do you have any like set ideas or set new menu items that you are maybe thinking about trying this summer?
New menu items. Well, one thing that I was working on late last summer are the fruit pops.
Yes, I saw the picture of that. Yeah,
some call them. I call mine Pixie Pops, but just kind of it's a cute name. It's a chick name.
That's all right.
But I've been messing around with different flavors and stuff like that, so that's a new thing.
So those actually have like fresh fruit in the actual pop? Okay.
The ones that I have right now are strawberry, so it's just strawberries with slices of banana inside on a stick, and then I made a mango lime coconut milk.
Oh.
Yeah, and those are good too. So, and I made one last summer that I really liked. I don't know that I like spicy stuff too. So I made mango with it had lime juice, and then it had spicy chili.
Oh, okay.
And I think you need to be a certain kind of person to like something like that. But so just
did you make a good face or? Oh.
No, was it? What kind of a face was that?
No, that sounds really good.
Because if you've ever had the fruit cups, I lived in San Antonio for a really long time, and they make the fresh fruit cups where they squeeze lime juice on top, and then they put the salted chili on top. So I was trying to kind of recreate something like that.
Really good.
So I think one of the guys that tried it, I told him it was spicy, and
Was that San Antonio spicy? Or?
I can take a lot of heat.
Yeah.
I think it was San Antonio spicy.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, I love people from Buffalo, but they think like Frank's hot sauce is spicy.
Right,
and
that's
like,
not even close.
No, there's
it's yummy, but it's not hot.
Yeah, it's not hot, yeah. Well, that's cool. That sounds pretty exciting.
So that's one of the things. I'm always working on new stuff. I can't think of anything that's going
to... Are you constantly like doing a little R&D? Like just always in your head trying to...
my favorite part. So I just love, creating new things and coming up with new combos. So I unfortunately just don't have enough time to do it.
I know, right? And so this will probably go up in like, let's say 2 weeks. Is there any events that people should know about coming up this summer that they can find you at?
Well, the food truck rodeos that we're going to have, which I think, is it the third Wednesday of every month?
I think so. I can confirm it when we air the podcast.
I'm pretty sure that's when it is. And that's, God, I can't even remember the place where it's going to be. I can't remember.
Right. we'll dub it in.
What's going on. Yeah, and then the Larkin... The Tuesday nights at Larkin. Now I know I'm going to be in the first two, and then just kind of go from there. But nice. And then the Canal Side events.
Yeah,
I'd like to try to start going there maybe during happy hour.
Yeah,
when it's nice outside.
Yeah. So. It's cool that that's now open. That they went out of their way to add those couple hours that everybody can go down there.
Yeah, I think that's really nice. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe
down the road, do you still have the idea to open up a bakery or have like a Sweet Hearth home base? I guess you could say.
I'd really like to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah,
so.
That'd be cool.
That would be, make things a lot easier, too.
Yeah. I mean, that could be your center of
home
operations.
Exactly, right.
Well, nice. Well, Kelly, thank you so much for coming down here. It was really fun talking to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun.
And keep up the good work, because I love what you guys are doing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.